And the big story this evening, it's been exactly 1 week since the centre revised the one rank, one pension scheme, the OROP. And the credit war continues to rage. Congress claims that it was Rahul Gandhi, and after Rahul Gandhi addressed the grievances of the veterans, the OROP scheme was revised and attributed it to the Bharat Jodo success. Many others also claim that the scheme was introduced by the then UPA government. And even as Congress claims credit, an organization of ex-servicemen has thanked Prime Minister Modi in a letter. They expressed gratitude and said they are overwhelmed by the Prime Minister's love and trust. In fact, Times Now also spoke to a veteran who interestingly says that the Congress came close to implementing OROP by revising the pensions for retired army men. Here are the slew of reactions coming in.
Congress government has been giving increment in pension. They gave increment in 2009 and then in 2012. But that was not one rank one pension. However, it came close to one rank one pension. IASM continued up its protest and request to the government, and government finally relented and passed one rank one pension in the budget of 2014. On 15th of June 2022, Government of India files an application in Honorable Supreme Court stating that all actions have been completed and only cabinet approval is left.
Definitely in Himachal Pradesh, we have already implemented it, and for last 5 years, Bharatiya Janata Party has not done anything. So that is the reason we are taking credit, and it depends on people of the country to which party they are going to give credit.
Congress has also claimed its credit on the OROP as well. Jairam Ramesh has issued a statement stating that it was first Rahul Gandhi who met the ex-servicemen.
But it was Jairam ji has already stated.
OROP, when Mr. Anthony was the defense minister, Manmohan Singh government was there, Congress government was there. Then only the whole process had been initiated. The habit of this government is that they are taking credit for all the work done by Congress regimes.
The BJP though has slammed the Congress for being opportunistic in claiming credit. BJP's Nalin Kohli says that Congress would take credit over anything. In fact, mockingly said, even if it rains somewhere, then the Congress would attribute it to its nationwide Yatra.
उनसे इतना पूछना चाहिए कि what was their contribution for one rank one pension? How much money did they allocated for that? And they were in power for 10 years. Why didn't they do anything for this? It was only Prime Minister Modi who took initiative, who made promise and took initiative, and has fulfilled the promise of one rank, one pension, one rank.
Congress Party's desperation to link everything to Bharat Jodo should not reach such laughable levels that tomorrow if it rains somewhere they'll say that it has rained because the Bharat Jodo Yatra went and people were praying, or something happens with regard to the global economy. They don't say because Rahul Gandhi walked for it. Imagine what levels they will take their Bharat Jodo Yatra desperation to take credit in the next few weeks.
Let's open this up. We have a spokesperson of the BJP, Charu Pragya, with us. Also with us is defence expert, Major General Ashwini Sevach, Sanjay Jha, author and lawyer and political analyst, Manaswi Thappar. I want to begin by asking Major General Ashwini Sevach, since I want to understand the defence personnel point of view. General Sevach, several Congress leaders come out to say that it is just 2 days after Rahul Gandhi interacted with some of the former army soldiers is when the government was prompted to make this move. What do you think?
First of all, we must understand when was this one rank, one pension given. There is no doubt one rank, one pension was given in 2015 and which was applicable from 2014 with the proviso that it will be revised after every 5 years. So therefore, from 1st July 2014, it was to be revised on 1st July 2019. That revision has not taken place, and the government has now revised also on 23rd March 2022. They have now issued that whatever is the basically arrears of 1st July 2019 to 30th June 2022, they will be paid back. So I must clear it. There is no doubt that the present government has only given one rank, one pension in July 2015 applicable provision, irrespective date of retirement. It means the post retirees will automatically get that the benefit whatever is the new pensioner getting. So this is a huge amount. Let me tell you, this has really made a lot of difference. People who are retired in 70s, 80s and 90s, they were getting a very less pension. But with this one rank, one pension given by the Indian government, it has made a tremendous difference to those people. The earlier the person who retired, the more benefit he gets.
Okay.
So I thought that this has been a step in the right direction, and this is a good move of the government. This will raise the morale of the ex-serviceman as well as the serving soldier.
Okay, Manaswi Thappar, why is the Congress then claiming credit for it? Because, you know, to simply put it, the one rank, one pension rule means retired soldiers of the same rank and length of service will receive the same pension. We have the General Saab break down details and tell us about the timeline. Take us through the timeline. And this was a periodic revision that was to take place regardless. So the Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra contributing to this in a big way is a claim that nobody is quite understanding today.
If we are talking about the timeline starts from 2008. In 2011, for the first time, one Koshari committee was formed during that particular time, 2009, and it was the UPA 2, which basically discussed about one pension for the armed forces. And then that discussion happened, and then in 2014, in 2015, it was the NDA government, the BJP government, which passed. It is basically the entire functioning of both the political parties. I don't know where this hue and cry comes from the BJP side that Congress has not done it, Congress has not taken, Congress is taking the credit. On the contrary, even if it's because of the Yatra or because of the Koshari committee which was formed in 2011, BJP should thank that what was discussed in the Koshari committee, they got that opportunity to implement it. Everything is an evolutionary step in this country, in this democratic setup. Some governments do some discussions and another government gets a chance to implement it. That's how the democracy of this country functions. What Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji in his Niti Aayog would discuss, the future Prime Ministers will get an opportunity to implement that. What was done in the planning commissions was not always inaugurated by the same Prime Ministers. It's an evolution. The country is evolutionary. And even if the armed forces, why did the armed forces met Rahul Gandhi? Because they were not happy with the way the revision of OROP is taking place. They met because there was no revision happening. The question here is, when there is a systematic understanding that after 5 years there would be revision, from 2015 to 19, there was no revision. From 19, the revision was supposed to happen.
Okay.
It took the government 3 years to revise.
Charu Pragya, if the periodic revision was to take place in July 2019, why did it not happen so far?
See, Kritsween, there are so many issues which are regularly handled and taken care of by the central government, and it is procedure. Now, when a procedure takes a little bit of time due to some reason, it is up in the courts for some reason, this is only due process. Why is it that the Congress wants to politicize every single decision of any government, no matter what part of the country it is in? So whatever happens in this country, they find a way to lay claim to it, to take credit for it and talk about nothing else. It's unfair that the Congress thinks that one rank, one pension can be credited to them in any manner whatsoever, because it came in after Modi government. Modi 0.1 came in and it's been revised. It had always been planned to be revised. 5 years later, it had to be revised. So now is the time that it is coming in and all the previous areas are going to be taken care of. I don't understand why Bharat Jodo Yatra has become the focal point of all that Congress wants to do. Initially calling it non-political, now claiming that it is bringing about so much political impact. I am seeing the political impact it's bringing about. So every state it crosses, it loses a tall leader or two. Every state it crosses, it loses a by-election or two. Every state it decides not to cross, they lose massive elections. So I don't know why Bharat Jodo Yatra wants to be the focal point of decisions which are anyways matter of fact, which are anyways on the calendar of the government and which are being done.
Okay, so there was a delay, but Mr. Sanjay Jha, why is it that the Congress feels that a procedure that perhaps may take some time, quite some time, at least more than 2 days, happened because of the Bharat Jodo Yatra's pressure? 2 days after Rahul Gandhi interacted with some of the former soldiers, the government was quick to bypass all the procedures and come ahead with this revision announcement. Is it logically possible, sir?
Kritsween, good evening. I think the BJP spokesperson, my good friend Charu, made a Freudian slip when she called the Modi government a 0.1% government. Probably that's exactly what it is in terms of delivery. May I add this point? I have the highest respect. I think every citizen of this country, and I would like to tell the general on the program, we have the highest respect for the defense services and the army, for what you do to protect our country's borders and the citizens of India. And I believe this needs to be shown in terms of respect by political parties. Now, let me tell you why the Congress is right and why the BJP is lying through its teeth. In 2019, Charu says there were some procedural issues. I want to tell you, in 2019, the government of India gave tax benefits, which means it said foregoing its revenue of 1,45,000 crores to the corporate sector, especially to the big business. 1,45,000 crores in 2019, and you did not have money to pay the armed forces their revised commitment and OROP then? I mean, what are we talking about here?
But sir, the OROP was a long-standing demand of our army veterans. No previous governments paid heed to it. It was only introduced post-2015.
Kritsween, can I answer a point here? Please remember that today, if the Congress party has won the election in Himachal, which we all know has a lot of people, young people, middle-aged people who have served the army, including retired personnel, it's because the old pensions scheme is a reminder to not just the government, to many people who work in various institutions like the military for the OROP, where they are denied their just, shall we say, value for the services rendered. Now, OROP is an architecture created by the Congress like Manrega, like the Food Security Act. We know how Mr. Modi mocked Manrega. Today, Manrega is sustaining the society, especially in the post-pandemic inequality situation that we have at the ground level economic crisis is concerned. I say hats off to our army, hats off to our defense services. But I would request the BJP to, for God's sake, don't be hypocritical. Don't shoot from their shoulders, and please do not deny them the compensation they deserve at the right time. That is unethical, immoral, and unprincipled.
Okay, Manaswi Thappar, I want to ask you this, that, though the Congress now is gleefully laying credit over decisions taken by them, they're saying that they have shepherded the BJP in the direction to perhaps take this big decision that they were sitting on since 2019 when it was first due. But on ground, what has the Congress party really done in that direction apart from claiming credit at the end of it all?
Kritsween, we have to understand Congress is not in power, so they can actually not do anything on ground as of now, apart from being in opposition and telling the people in power.
But General Sivach, wasn't OROP, or at least demands to the tunes of OROP, a long-standing demand even before 2014?
Absolutely. See, no doubt about it. If we have to give a credit to the present government, that at least they gave us one rank, one pension in 2015, applicable from 1st July 2014. But that was to be revised after 5 years, which they delayed it, for which we went to the court. And court gave a direction this has to be revised. And now it is revised, we are getting the arrears from 1st July 2019 to 30th June 2022. But certainly, what that best for the previous government has given, we must make it clear this present government has, and it was a huge amount. It is not like this. Especially the retirees of 70s, 80s and 60s, they were getting very less pension. Very difficult for them to survive a Jawan or a Naik or a Holdar. Now with this new pension, this one rank, one pension, it has become very respectable, we must say. But yes, I agree on this. From 1st July 2019 to 30th June 2022,
can I please respond?
Because we are going to the court also.
Okay. One second. I'll come to you, Manaswi and Charu. General Sivach, we also played a reaction from Group Captain V.K. Gandhi, who said that in 2009 and 2012 there were increments, but not to the tune of OROP. How much of that do you think was a contribution?
See, my point is the previous governments all kept on promising us, but one rank, one pension was a huge amount to be given. No government ventured it. It was only the present government we ventured in 2015, applicable from 2014. What they did not do is they were to revise in 2019, which they delayed, for which we went to the court also. But now they have given us everything from 1st July 2019 to 30.
Okay, so the delay was a problem, but that problem has been solved now, and there's no complaint to the present day. Credit not to be given to the Congress party though. Manaswi Thappar.
it was not a very easy journey, as the General Sahib said. They had to go to the Supreme Court. Let's understand this. If BJP as a government was very positive about revision from 2019 to 2022, it was not a cakewalk for the pensioners. They had to approach the Supreme Court. It was after the Supreme Court ka danda, the BJP thought that we should give them their respected dues. It is not an easy cakewalk for our armed forces. Let's understand this. It is, if we have to be thankful to anyone, we all four of us should be thankful to the Supreme Court of India. It is because of the danda of the Supreme Court of India the government.
But they sought time till March 15, 2023, Manaswi Thappar. On 23rd of December is when the cabinet approved the one pension, one scheme, one rank, one pension scheme revision for the ex-servicemen, but they sought a 3-month extension.
General Sahib is with us on this debate. Ask him that did he go to the Supreme Court or did he not go there? The answer is he went there. You can ask him on a live debate. The armed forces were forced to go to the Supreme Court and request for their own rights. That's the reality. And you can read the order. And it is the Supreme Court's danda. Why don't we accept that? Thankfully, we have a Supreme Court. Thankfully, we have a government. And thankfully, we have an opposition.
Okay, no, but if they had to go to the Supreme Court and if this was such a tough battle, an uphill battle for the BJP, how is it that they were able to meet this target 2 days into Rahul Gandhi interacting with the former soldiers? My simple question to you is that. How is this credit being given to the ongoing Bharat Jodo Yatra?
Kritsween, please let me come in.
Okay, Charu, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I want to begin by just calling out a slip of tongue I had. Sanjay ji said that I said 0.1. Sir, I actually meant Modi 1.0, which was the first term of Modi Sarkar, which is the term of Modi Sarkar which approved one rank, one pension in the first place. No other government before this paid heed to this demand, and that is true. Not simply this. So many demands of the armed services which had been left unfulfilled, unheard even during previous government's regimes, were not just heard by Modi Sarkar, they were fulfilled to the best of the abilities this government has, whether it is making sure they have better equipment, whether it is making sure that their hands are untied when they serve at the borders, upholding their dignity at every single point, and one rank, one pension. And moving forward from there, this time also, it is only a coincidence of timing, and that is why Rahul ji is very happily dancing around trying to take credit for it. Apart from a coincidence of timing, there is nothing else that Congress can take credit for in this particular case. It is straight routine. Sometimes, unfortunately, there can be minor delays when it is Sarkari kaam. We all know that, and we are working to fix that. And that also Modi Sarkar is only working to fix. No previous government wanted to work around red tape like this.
Okay, so why claim credit when no promises were made and no promises were fulfilled thereafter? This is just a matter of chance that the Congress leader happened to interact with some former soldiers, and the Congress is now claiming credit to that tune. And there's no doubt that this announcement by the government is a welcome step and has resolved one of the most contentious issues. There has been a delay, yes, but this is certainly a huge relief, particularly for those pensioners who felt that they had not been adequately equated. Gentlemen, Charu Pragya, thank you for joining us this evening. We head into a very quick break.